Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. So I didn't bother doing a live because I know a lot of you were at work, and also because I'm going to be putting this video on YouTube and putting it on my channel after I'm done here, because I'm going to try and build that up with different trainings. Something I'm working on. So if you're new, or even if you're not new and maybe you haven't done wax samples yet, I thought I'd show you what I do, how I do mine, and some tips. So if you're going to be mailing samples, there's a lot of different ways to do samples actually, but my biggest way, here I'll show you quick, is how to melt it. I double boil it on the stove. I have a measuring cup here, and I just double boil it in some water. I know some leaders will tell you to put it in the microwave, but I don't, it's not good for the wax, so don't do that. That's why this is kind of a more gentle way to do it, and it goes super slick. And yeah, I was gonna do this the other day when I was doing my scent of the month samples, and then I totally forgot, but that's okay, because I'm doing the samples for the Chase Rainbows collection, which, oh my gosh, it smells so good. I love it. I love it so much. And what I'm doing is I'm not doing the whole bars. I did this with the All Is Well collection, and it worked out really well. I used 4 cubes, and I make 20 samples of each. And I'm a really weird numbers person, so I like using, because these felts, they're the ones from the consultant store. They come in packs of 100 for like $6. So I like to use the whole thing, or like, you know, like I'm an even numbers person, so I'm weird like that. So if I do 20 of each, I use the whole bag and call it good, and then I still have a half a bar left for myself to try, because damn, yeah, I love these. And I did this with the All Is Well collection, and I liked it because what I did is I offered up, I did a live with them and kind of went through the bars, and at the end of the live I offered up my 20 samples to the first 20 people that commented, and I only did that in my VIP group. And one, because yeah, it's nice to share samples with everybody, but we'll be real here, it costs money. So my scent of the month samples, I don't care. After I do my mass mailing, I usually have, you know, quite a few left over, so I don't care if I can mail those to people. Because yeah, that's the other nice thing about these felts, is you can mail them. You can mail up to 5 if you line them up nice in the envelope, and it'll still mail with a regular stamp. So that's what I really like. But for something like this, I did 20. I offered them up to the first 20 people that commented, and I did keep track of who I sent them to. And I think about 80% of the people I sent those samples to, they ordered the bars. Otherwise, I think everybody I sent them to ended up placing an order in some way. So, but I only offered up the 20 samples in my VIP group. Like, I gave them a whole set, obviously. And what I thought was really cool is because when it creates kind of a sense of urgency, and if you only offer them in your group and say someone misses out, they're like, damn, I need to pay more attention in her group. Like, yes, you do. So it gets them to pay attention in your group and be quick on the draw, and it makes them feel special because they're going to be smelling it before they're available. Oh, good. But otherwise, you can do samples like in the molds. I've done that. Like when I do my scent of the month samples, I just automatically melt down 3 bars, because I can do 3 bars in a measuring cup like this. That's what I like, the glass ones. And I'll do my 100 felts, and then if I have any wax left over, I'll do like a mold. I have the Scentsy ones. I didn't bring it out here, but you know, the purple Scentsy one from the consultant store. That one's really nice. I'd say only fill it like maybe a 4th or a 3rd full, because you don't need it super full. But the ones in the molds, they're nice if you're going to hand them out in person or do maybe a mystery box. Like I do have some fun themed ones, like these are hearts. But yeah, they're definitely not, you don't want to try and mail them, because they'll automatically count it as a parcel and it'll cost you $3. So yeah, nobody wants to do that. But yeah, if you do use these, like these plastic ones, dude, you just pop them in the freezer. Wait for the wax to solidify a little bit so it's not sloshing everywhere, but then throw it in the freezer for a couple minutes and they'll come right out. Same with the silicone ones. Otherwise, the silicone ones are nice because you just kind of pull at the edge a little bit and pop it out from the bottom. But yeah, I like the felts because it's super simple, and this method is really nice because all I do is, yeah, double boil it. It's been melting this whole time I was yapping away. But yeah, oh my gosh. This is red from the rainbow bars. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. But yeah, and I just use a pair of tongs and just dip and lay out, let it dry on wax paper. And it dries within a few minutes because it's just a piece of felt, so it's really nice. And the bags for these, you can get the little bags in a lot of places. I know you can find them at Walmart. I've gotten them at Hobby Lobby. What are they? They're 2x3 bags. I get mine in a box of 1,000 for like $10. And that's the other thing too. Like, it makes my freaky number thing happy because the bags come in a thing of 100, so it's nice. I use the whole pack of felts when I do this, whole pack of bags, and I still have some cubes left for myself. So yeah, but I would say if you are going to sample out this rainbow collection or any of the collections that we do, these little limited time ones, definitely keep track some sort of way of who you give these samples to. I hope you have a follow-up system. I love how I keep bobbing back and forth like, oh, hello. But some sort of follow-up system. If you're using a paper system, I have uploaded in the files of this group a follow-up sheet, a customer follow-up sheet. Otherwise, we have access to AMI, AMI. If you go into the accounts section on the workstation, yep, it's in, I had to think a second. Yeah, it's an account, and you probably always scroll right past it. It's one of those things that's like always there. But right at the top of the page, there's a big fat link for Amy. And we can get it for free. There is a paid version. It just depends on how many messages you send out of there. But it's really nice. But have some way to keep track of who you give these samples to, because then you're going to follow up with them when it's available. Like, hey, how did you like that collection? Did you know it's available next Monday? Well, you know, whenever it's available on the 11th. But yeah, you know what I mean? Because if you're just sending off these samples and then never talking to these people again, then you're really just wasting your money. There's a way to follow up. You don't have to be like, hey, did you like it? Or are you ready to buy it? No, you just, hey, I want to know what you thought of it. How did you like it? Let me know, kind of thing. That's okay. And if they tell you they hate it, it's like, hey, you know what? I don't like that scent either. Whatever, you know. It's okay. Everybody's not meant to like everything, and that's perfectly all right. But yeah, I will say the felts are where it's at, though. If you're gonna do samples, and I know it's overwhelming when you first join and you see people making samples of all the things, and you're like, holy crap, where to start? I would say start with wax. If you're gonna start sampling anything, wax is probably the easiest thing, because you could get you get a bar in your kit, and depending on what kit you get, I think it's just a big kit. One of the kits comes with felt samples. Otherwise, you can get these in the consultant store. I usually add some to an order when I'm closing, you know, a party that's over 500, because then I don't have to pay shipping. Because you can add consultant store items to your party orders. But now I lost my train of thought. But yeah, otherwise I would say if you're, you know, you do your wax sample, especially if you get sent of the month, then it's easy to have something to do wax samples with every month. But otherwise, if you're going to venture out and you want to try something else other than wax, I would say the next easiest things would either be Scentsy Soak or Washer Whiffs, because they're both really cheap. Even when you get them half off or free, you know, they're both like $12. And yeah, slap it in a baggie. They have cute bags on Amazon. Those are really nice. Otherwise, the other one I would say would be Counter Clean, because the little spray bottles for those are super cheap. I think I get them in a bag of like 100 for like $10. I don't remember, something like that. But the little spray bottles are really cheap, and they're really, and yeah, you don't need a lot to fill them. But yeah, I like this method. It's so easy. I think I've been at this maybe a half an hour. It goes a lot quicker when I'm doing just one bar, but for this particular lesson, I'm doing 5 different ones, and it was kind of nice because all I did is I have 2 different measuring cups, so I just keep swapping them out, and I'll wipe it out in between to get the smellies out. And then when it was warm, it even kind of just kept warm and started melting even when it wasn't on the actual burner. But oh my gosh, I'm excited. If you guys haven't smelled these bars yet, oh my gosh, they're so wonderful. They really nailed it with these last couple collections, and it is a nice idea to get them and sample them out before they're available, because it makes people feel special, and it makes it easier to sell when they're able to sell it first. Okay, now the fun part, because sometimes I have a little bit left over. Whoop. All I do is I come over here and I just dump it on some of the wet ones and call it good, and let it soak in there. There. Ta-da! And now we're done. And then, yeah, I'll use the hot water that I was simmering, because, yeah, you bring it to a boil and then put it on simmer. But anyway, I use the hot water to swish around in the cup and get the excess oil out. But, yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know. And, yeah, check out my super awesome channel on YouTube.